Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Poland Weekly Business Focus program. Today we are going to talk about logistics and warehouse, the top asset class in the real estate market for years. And today my guest is Maciej Chmielewski, senior partner at Colliers. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
Good topic. I think, this asset class, logistics and warehouse, I think for many, many years has been, the driver force of the real estate industry in Poland. So let's see what is ahead of us. But before that, let's maybe start with the little summary of what is now how would you define the current state of play on the real estate, industrial and warehouse market in Poland?
So the industrial and warehouse market, I would say it's going through the changes. Yes, we see the changes. From the beginning of 2020, when the pandemic hit the market. And of course, that time everybody was scared what's going to happen next, yes? But it brought us a big wave, positive big wave to the market in terms of newcomers actually to the market. And we saw 2021, 2022 as very good market. But since the war in Ukraine, we see a big difference. Yes, we see a difference in terms of activity, but of course, this is driven also not only by what's happening on our east border, but also what is happening in the financial sector. Yes, so this caused the situation that market is, let's say, not immune to the situation, the finance situation. And of course, the high interest rates have big impact on the values of the properties. Yes, and the second thing are the occupiers. Yes, this is the driving force for industrial market. The occupiers are, some of them, they withholding the decision, or the decision are taking longer. But still, it's not that bad. I would say the market is pretty stable at this moment. Yes, we are in much different situation than we were in, for example, 2008, where the situation was there was just a couple million of square meters on the market. Right now we have 32 million, with a potential to grow the market for another 30 million, of course. But this creates a situation that there is always the activity on the market. There is always something happening. Yes, there is always some renegotiation. We see some new businesses coming, new production businesses coming. We see the businesses coming from abroad. Especially from some from Korea, some from China, basically from Asia. We see the businesses coming.
So this nearshoring is really happening.
The nearshoring is definitely happening. It's not as much materialized as everybody thought, that when pandemic hit, the next day everybody is going to shift the direction in production from one place to another. But we feel that it's really happening. Yes. So Poland is in the scope of, let's say, between CE countries. Is being chosen as either a number one or number two, yes? So depending on
So in CE, with who do we compete?
We compete mainly with, I would say, Hungary, yes, because they are the country who is giving a big support, government support in terms of the tax reliefs. We are also competing with Romania, yes? So these are the markets, let's say, the three markets that these markets are competing between each other, yes. But definitely, if it comes to nearshoring, I would say this is the place to be. Definitely, yes. It's Poland. It's definitely Poland is going to be the winner in the situation.
And in terms of the investment, yes, because we know that we observed the slowdown in the past 2 years, 3 years, yes. And how does it affect the market currently? Do you see more investment coming to Poland this year? Or do we still wait and see, and then maybe 2025, maybe 2026 will be the visible growth?
Okay, so I think that the last year was very negative, yes, in terms of the new investment.
Not only in Poland.
Not only in Poland. This was across the whole European countries, yes. So it hit dramatically the situation, the market. It's going to be growing, yes. Like the last information, I believe from 2 weeks ago from ECB, that the interest rate were dropped. So these are the positive information from the market coming that might create the situation there will be more investors coming and looking for opportunities on the market. And there are a lot of opportunities, in my opinion. Looking at the pricing of per square meter is tremendously lower than it was before. Tremendously. It's very competitive. Yes. So this is the right momentum for these big players, for the big funds to enter the market and choose. To pick, let's say, the best assets which are available on the market.
And what about, other trends that are shaping? I mean, recently, even in the previous interviews on the logistics market or real estate in general, we always hear this ESG, sustainability topic. So, of course, on one hand, I mean, if we have newcomers, probably they are investing in the new stock, which is probably in line with the guidelines, but we also have a lot of outdated stock, I believe. So how do you observe this and playing out in the future?
The sustainability is playing a more and more important role, in my opinion. Yes, basically at the beginning, the office were always looking at the sustainability factor. Right now, from a couple of years, we see a lot of happening in this field in CE countries also, Poland specifically, where the sustainability is playing the bigger role. We see that. Firstly, this has two sides. Yes, this is the financial sectors, which basically looks for assets which meets the sustainability criteria. But second are the occupiers who are asking basically for assets who are meeting certain qualification. Yes, for ESG qualification. The clients are looking for, of course, for the certification. We see more of this BREEAM outstanding certification coming to the market. It's not because the financial institution requires this, but it's true. But secondly, it's occupiers. They are more mature. Yes, they're looking at the sustainability more than it was before. It's really happening. Yes, so we're observing the situation.
And are occupiers willing to pay more for?
That's a good question.
For such an asset?
We're always starting the conversation about how the property should be shaped in terms of ESG. But when it comes to pricing, then it's some of this. It's cutting out from the requirement. So yes, they're looking at this, but the pricing it's still an issue. Yes, for the occupiers. But there's more and more of these occupiers who exactly knows that the taxations is coming to the market and they have to meet the European criteria, which are very important. And this is also going to might negatively impact their organization. So right now they're thinking about this, how to do something for the future, how to choose the property right for the future. Yes, and from the perspective of developers, it's important that they want to have more cyclical properties, which means they want to build something for the future. Yes, so they need to really think ahead what the market is going to bring in terms of ESG, in terms of sustainability, how to make this whole concept, the whole property more sustainable, and to meet not only the criteria, today's criteria, but also the future criteria.
And in your studies, because recently you have published a report on warehousing and logistics and industrial sector, any other drivers that can, obviously in the past years, e-commerce was such a driver, and any other sectors maybe that, are coming up in Poland and you expect them also to push and drive the logistics sector forward?
I think the dominating sectors, it's still a 3PL, yes, so logistics sector. Secondly, it's e-commerce, still e-commerce. Thirdly is distribution, then FMCG and automotive sectors. Yes, these are the sectors which are driving the situation. Of course, e-commerce, as you said, is less active than it was. But looking at all different, let's say, publication, we see that by 2027, the e-commerce is going to grow by 50% in Poland. Yes, which means there is still a very optimistic situation, and this is the driver for the warehouses. Yes, and there is also another sectors which was driving the industry a lot is the automotive sectors. Of course, due to some transformation. Yes. EV transformation, we see that this is halt for a moment, yes, because this actually depends on the European regulation. Yes, the sector depends on this. So, in my opinion, this situation actually might stop for a moment the automotive sector. Maybe not, of course, not totally, but we see a bit slowdown. Yes, in automotive sectors, there are some uncertainties.
But also with the mobility sector, I believe that, for example, here we can compete quite a lot with Hungary. For example, Chinese companies who are actively entering European markets. I think many of them choose Hungary, I believe. Or what are the comparisons between the markets from your studies?
Yes, the big companies, some of the Chinese companies, they choose to be in Hungary. They also consider Poland. I think that not all the businesses which coming to Poland are the best businesses, because some of them require a lot of, let's say, energy, a big water consumption, especially the battery industry that requires. So it doesn't mean that for Poland is something good, yes? I mean, in terms of maybe if investment, FDI, foreign direct investment, in terms of figures, it's good. But on the other hand, we have to look at what's happening around us, yes? So I think that Hungary might be lacking the, let's say, supply, firstly, of the land, secondly, of the resources, natural resources, and thirdly, the people, yes? This would create a situation that, that some of the companies that even though they invested in China, the next newcomers might be only coming to Poland, yes? Maybe not Poland, but Poland is I would say, a number one choice. It's because of the strategic location. Secondly, is population, and this is what creates the much better, let's say, environment for them to stay in Poland.
But when investors come to Colliers, for example, they usually ask about selection of the location in the CE, or they indicate Poland? Or maybe specific region, because that's also what I would like to discuss, whether there are some hot spots, like usually, the western border was always on top of the radar. So I'm wondering, has anything changed?
It depends actually, because some of the, let's say, investors, they don't have specific idea where to go, especially the Asian ones, yes? Because they look at the Europe and they see like, a very small one country actually, yes? They don't see the differences. So they come to us. We have a service called Strategy Location, which tells them where to go, depending on the industry, depending on the staff requirement, etc. Yeah, so this is definitely, there are some investors who, from the beginning, they might not know where to go, but of course we navigate them. Where is the best place in Europe to land with their, let's say, industry? Yes, but looking from the perspective there are some beauty contests between the big investors. We see that a lot of these investors are landing between these three countries, which I mentioned, is between Poland, Hungary, Romania. Yes, so more of these investors are coming to these countries. Yes.
And what's the competitive advantage of Romania currently?
Romania is also, they give quite a big support, and Romania, in terms, of course, of the location, is very well located. Yes, because from Romania, which is south of Europe, you basically can serve the southern part of Europe, which means that somebody already established their existence in, let's say, Poland or Slovakia or Czech Republic. They need to go to some of the southern countries, yes. But from the production perspective, there's still, let's say, there is still opportunity in the population. The government, in terms of the tax incentive, is quite supportive. And we see that Romania put a lot of attention on creating a new infrastructure, yes, which might help the country to develop for the future and bring new investors.
The human factor is something you take into the consideration when investors look for the appropriate location, yes? Labor force. I mean, my assumption would be then with the industrial assets, which I assume might be much more automated, that there is not such a huge pressure on the labor force. While in the logistics operation, I think that's a key factor, but maybe I'm wrong. So tell me, how does it look like from your perspective, and what investors are looking for and what they ask for?
I mean, from my perspective, it looks like both of the sectors. I mean, either logistic or industrial, they both require labor force, yes? So, but of course, the typical logistics centers, they require different labor force, yes? It doesn't have to be very skillful labor force, yes? Occupiers, what they're doing, they're preparing themselves for the situation, what might happen on this labor market, yes? They're building more automated warehouses. They know that they're gonna face, and they're already facing the situation where there's a lack of enough of people, or rotation of these people is quite high. So they're building more automated warehouses. On the other hand, production is also very important. It's not like everything is automated in the production, yes? So,
yeah, I think in Poland we have a very low number of robotics at the end of the day that are supporting
it's quite low. So when it comes for investor to choose where to be. So definitely they look at where is the population, what age is the population, what talent have the population, yes, because certain regions have, let's say, different pool of talented people, yes, like Dolnośląskie, Górnośląskie. These are the different skill sets in this voivodeship, yes. So of course this is very important factor, yes. So they're looking for talented people, and they also they predict the situation, and they're looking for the location which still they might attract the labor force, yes. So like at the beginning, everybody was concentrating on the big cities, yes, on the 6 big cities. Right now we see that occupiers are concentrating on the cities, but still they're looking at the opportunities in some niche cities, yes, where they know people, the staff are going to be regularly coming, and they're going to be attractive in this, let's say, city or a village.
Okay, and talking about the destination, so what's on the top radar, top 5 in Poland today?
Top 5 radars. I mean, from logistic perspective and from industrial perspective, for sure as always, it is Warsaw. Yes, it is Upper Silesia, Lower Silesia, so Katowice and Wrocław area. Gdańsk is becoming, because of the deep sea port, it's also a very important strategic location, especially for the companies which distribute the goods from Asia. And not forgetting the central Poland, which is very important from the perspective of e-commerce. Yes, basically from central Poland you can distribute the goods from.
So around Łódź.
Around Łódź, yes. And not only around.
Okay.
I mean, this is the destination around Łódź, of course. But from this point of the region, you can distribute the goods in 24 hours to all the destinations in Poland. Yes, and I think that Rzeszów might be becoming also more popular among the occupiers also and investors, of course.
Okay, so you already said that you are optimistic about the future, but let's maybe deep dive a little bit more into what do you predict for the next 5 years? I mean, what trends, sectors that will have an impact on or maybe some geopolitical also, because we didn't tackle geopolitical too much, but I think that I can assume it also impacts some of the decisions of investors.
I definitely see that the nearshoring is still going to be happening. Yes, so this is going to bring new investors, new production investors to the market. Secondly, of course, the ESG is going to be playing more an important role in industrial and logistics.
But do you mean that it will shape, of course, the new facilities, or you will also observe the trend in terms of, repurposing or, refurbishing the outdated stock?
I see both, actually. It's going to be mainly any new facilities coming to the market. They will have to, and they are meeting the ESG criteria, today's criteria, and maybe predicting what's going to be needed for the future. The developers try to meet this criteria. So the ESG is becoming more important. Of course, maybe not as much as some other sectors, like maybe office, yes, but still, it's something that. Certification and the sustainability in terms of the energy, it's also it plays very important factor in the industry.
So now the last question, but looking not only on the CE region, but in general, how Poland stands on the EU map.
I'm going to be always the good advocate for Poland. It's definitely in the best spot, in the best location, strategic location. We are the biggest country, yes. So looking at the numbers, 45% of all the industrial projects development are located in Poland, yes.
Okay.
There's huge population, almost 40 million of inhabitants, yes. There is huge supply of land, which creates also a lot of opportunities. And basically the closeness to the Western European countries and Southern European countries, it's very important. So definitely Poland, I see still a bright future for Poland. Right now, maybe we see a slowdown, but it's not only slowdown for Poland, it's slowdown for everyone. But Poland, maybe it's not as, let's say, hit as other countries, but definitely Poland is going to be the #1 destination.
Fantastic. And I think that's a great summary of our discussion. Thank you so much, Maciej.
Thank you very much. Thank you.